Hello, my friends. It's Laura Victoria Ward here with a somatic practice, a very simple somatic practice that I've been kind of working on this past week. I am playing the music of Geoff Gersh. It is called Ambient Fields. It is available on Bandcamp. I have an assistant who's probably going to jump in and out of the camera at his own free will. So I'm playing with this stuff to work with jaw, neck, throat, maybe even these upper lymph nodes, tongue, shoulders. And the sound that I'm working with is like an NG sound, like So if you just make like an ah, and then you kind of ball your tongue up a little bit, is it balling your tongue up? It's just bringing it in, kind of shifting the way the air is flowing out. And with that ah, sound, I'm going to pan the horizon. So letting my eyes see what's around me, and I'll add the sound. It doesn't have to be a full range of motion. When we turn our head from side to side and take in our surroundings, it tells our primitive brain that things are safe, that we are safe, that we are taking in the environment and we can relax. So that's a big reason to start here with this panning of the horizon. What I notice when I'm doing the sound is that I want to have some play with my jaw as well. So I'm not just going but I'm adding If I change the shape of my mouth, it changes the sound. There can be some overtone stuff. And I can let my face sort of play up, and I like to call it freeing the pattern. So it's sort of freeing the pattern of me being me, freeing the pattern to give more space to just being, to awareness and being. So this can start to get smaller and smaller, and I'll do it a few times, and mine's gonna probably change a lot. If please join me. This is a participatory exercise, and feel into your own self. So at a certain point, you don't need to watch me, maybe listen to me, but if something different comes up for you, if you want to do something different, if you find something more interesting to play with in your experience, then please follow that. You can take resting breaths whenever you need them. As I go into that sound, I feel my mid-center channel sort of come into more presence. And I also, because of this music, it's slowing me down in a way. I can feel myself start to shift into that more parasympathetic, rest and digest, soothe and settle place. You can hear my voice is slowing down. Free up your face, whatever kind of weird shapes and things are starting to come out. Let's just do a little face thing before we go on with the sound. Just like sort of listening in to what might feel good. Imagine that your face was a little dog or cat that just woke up and your face is giving that first stretch of like, I'm gonna move. Feel that go down into my neck, shoulders, and throat. So it's almost like you want to kind of step away with your personality from your physical experience and just allow things to arise, allow things to happen. Sometimes you have to nudge them along, but sometimes once you become curious and enter in the space of bringing your awareness into your physical sensation, into your experience, things will start to arise and shift. And most of the time for me, it's very unpredictable. What's going to become interesting? What's going to come online? What one thing is going to then initiate another whole pattern happening. So this with my neck and jaw keeps coming back down into my midline, into center. So as I start to move, it starts to drop into this place. So letting your eyes do whatever they feel like doing, letting your head maybe move up and down as well as the side. So you're sort of freeing up the idea of this river of the spine into the head, into the brain, into the fluidity of the cerebral spinal fluid. And I almost have this image of like a tadpole, like there's the main center of the tadpole and then the free tail that's moving down, waving down. Coming back to the For me today, this side is much more interesting than that side. So I'm kind of sticking over here a little bit more. Feeling into your own body, seeing what's interesting in your own experience. And inviting your soma, your intelligence, your awareness of sensation in body to participate, to bring forth any kind of wisdom or release or anything else. Just letting yourself sort of start to shift from being a person named whatever your name is, Laura Victoria Ward, to a body of water with a cat jumping around the room. Yeah, so as you can see, the arms, my arms, and my fingers have started to enjoy feeling into this. And as I'm there, the other side has become more interesting. Also feeling the backspace come online, and this connection from hands in through the arms into my heart, lungs, my organs. Although I'm not actually focusing on that, I'm just aware of it, feeling this whole pattern of shape. So basically this is like an inquiry, a movement inquiry, a sort of free-form exploration that has some guidance. You can always come back to that. If you feel at a loss for what to do, just come back to that, or drop the sound and just turn your head, letting your body be soft underneath, letting your jaw, neck, throat, tongue relax. So moving into deliciousness, if that's possible. Like sometimes we can really feel pain very easily. What feels good? And can you shift back and forth between where there might be some pain or some more sensation to areas that might not have as much awareness yet? Sort of connecting our regions of our brain out through our nervous system to those edges and creating these loops, strengthening these loops of awareness in our mind, out into our body, and back again. Yeah, I've been studying meditation with Michael Taft for years, on and off, in many different varieties and capacities. And the idea of sort of vast spaciousness, can you bring that into every cell in your body? Can you just imagine this vast spaciousness? Or this sort of interconnected fluidity? idea or an image is just having the body of an octopus and the intelligence in every cell, in every surface of your body, of that like octopus intelligence. They can change colors, they can change shape and size, they can sense their environment just incredibly acutely. So bringing that awareness into your body, inviting in the intelligence of octopus awareness into your body. An octopus movement. Sometimes an image is the best way. Use your imagination. If you can't feel it, imagine you can feel it. What would it be like if you were an octopus? Could squeeze under a door or into a bottle, and also make yourself big, taking up space, moving your octopus body in that vast spaciousness. Let go of your game plan and just be present with what is arising, with what is interesting and delicious, with what is playful, with what is alive, vibrant. Yeah, so I've been doing all of this seated in a cross-legged position. I'm gonna let this go down to the floor. And I'm gonna invite you to take it down to the floor. So rolling and getting on the floor, having a relationship with the ground. We all need it. We need a relationship with the earth, that which supports us. This idea that gravity is connecting us to the ground. Gravity is supporting us. Gravity is helping us build our bodies, build our tissues, create our form. So between the breath flow, how our breath moves in our body, the water of our body, we are these huge watery systems. And then the energy of the earth, the gravitational pull of the earth, all of this stuff is creating form. So can we bring more awareness into our form? More deliciousness, more spaciousness, more freedom. So we don't have to clamp down onto anything, but we can just listen and respond. Or the response is just happening. There's no need to make the loop of listen, respond, just being in and listening without having to think. Feeling into sensation, bringing the water body, the octopus intelligent online, allowing yourself to move at whatever speed feels good to you, at whatever tempo. Could be very different than me. You could be on different body parts. You could also be more still. You may not be feeling very inspired to move. So you could really be tuning into just the micro movement. And you could still be seated or laying down. So I'm just gonna do a little bit of wave movement, rippling through my torso. And in a way we could say this isn't like, there's a improvisational free flow that is sort of beyond will, in a sense. It's just allowing. So it's not like, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to send these waves. It's not mechanical. It's organic and fluid. And it doesn't mean that nothing's ever engaging or anything, but thinking of the body as one whole system working together, the coherency of all the systems of your body working in harmony, coordinated, delivering nutrition, delivering oxygen, carrying away waste. This is happening just about in every system, and most of it happens through fluidity. And if things get stuck and stagnant, we know what happens. Like when the water is stuck and stagnant and rank and yucky, bio slime or biofilm. We want to clear that stuff up through moving and bringing awareness into our bodies. So this is like the awareness bath with the sort of cellular awakening, whatever that means. you could imagine that you've just landed in your body as an alien, never ever been in a human body before. You have no idea what it can do. So you can just play with your senses, feeling into it. What's possible? Take away all the rules of things that you've learned about how you're supposed to move. Break those all apart and just let yourself roll around and play in ways that feel good. Yeah, sometimes I teach this type of thing to people who've done a lot of yoga and suddenly they're in their stretch. That could be great. Maybe that's what you need at the moment. But if possible, try to let go of the stories that you have about what you're supposed to do and listen into what would feel good right now. Stillness is great. Deliciousness. Giving yourself complete freedom to look like a fool. You can see I do. Look at my hair, it's all over the place. Yeah, enjoy the ridiculousness. It's fun, it's freeing. So I actually do have a little bit of an injury in my shoulder, which is one reason why I'm doing all of this neck, shoulder, jaw stuff. And somebody wants to play right here. Yeah, and so when I work with that fluid system and take away my ideas about what's going on in there, but work with feeling and sensation, I tend to be able to heal these things pretty quickly. So maybe that's gonna work for you, maybe not. I'm not a doctor. But fluid movement, hydration shifts the system. Just going to give you a little view of what I'm contending with down here. We can play with that fluidity from quadruped also, working with ripples and waves through the spine. This could be down, elbows and knees. Allowing yourself really sort of complete freedom to move in any way that feels good, to move into deliciousness in the sensations in your body, something that we haven't valued a lot in our culture. Drug-free deliciousness in the body. Again, working with that head-tail idea of being like a tadpole, having the freedom in your spine of a tadpole. No bones yet, just free body of water. Bring us back in to seated as the little cat starts to take over the room. And just before we end, I'm just going to go for a couple more minutes, but before we end, to come back to this, just see where we are. Sometimes it's nice to come back to where you started. Where's the baseline? And yeah, my hand is moving with me. Finding this sense of breath, deep breath support, deep cellular breathing. Breath support underlies core support. And core support is this whole system working together, right? The whole torso, the front, the back, the sides, the up, the down, in relationship to the limbs, the core distal, the top of the head, the tip of the tail. So we don't want to take us into these separate parts. We're all one whole thing. Something, pulling up here can have an effect in a totally different place in your body. Just inviting the systems of our body to come online, working together. Lymphatic detox it is stimulated through movement and breath. So this is inviting in that kind of detox, also creating space down our spine for those cranial nerves, like the vagus nerve, the wandering nerve. It's wandering down. It's involved in our respiratory, our heartbeat, our digestion, and even orgasm. So like these systems of our body are so integrated. And when I come into this slow movement, I could say mindful movement, but what I really mean is awareness in my movement, feeling the whole system, feeling the dance of all of this fluidity in my body, relating to the gravitational pull of the earth. Thank you, earth, for not dropping me off into the sky, holding me here, helping me create form. Gravity supports us. We don't need to fight against it. It's working with us. The space around us supports us. It's exactly perfect for human bodies. And if we think of it as being alive, we can have more respect for that interconnected relationship between us and everything that's around us. All life, all space, all earth, all water, all fire. Thinking of the fire of our bodies, that alive heat, that force, that instant recognition that something is alive or not, that we can see when we look at something. Oh, it's alive. There's fire in that. There's heat. So, if you have made it this far, bravo, you are doing wonders for your body, and thus for everyone around you also. So please feel free to like and subscribe. Take some time, let it settle in. Sometimes when you start doing this type of work, because there's so much stuff that we've been tamping down and not dealing with, it can be really a lot of challenge. Just have to show you that again. The feet, the stretch. So if you are starting to do more somatic work, starting new patterns that are new to your body, it's not like, oh, now I did it, everything's great, I'm ready to go. It's sometimes like, oh no, now I've started to come in and now I realize I need to do this for 2 years. That's what happens to me usually. I'm like, oh my God. So it's not the quick fix that makes everything okay. It's more like, oh, now I'm going deeper into presence. Now I'm going deeper into being alive on the planet with other humans. Now I'm going deeper into self-care, other care, love, community, resilience, but in a deep heart-centered way. So there's a reason a lot of people don't do this, because it requires a lot of responsibility to yourself, to your body, to your surroundings. So thank you. Have a wonderful day or night or morning.